I guess we're all ready. You all ready?
Ready?
Yep.
Good evening. Welcome to the May 12th, 2026 Murraysville Planning Commission meeting. Please all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Em or Mike, take the roll, please.
Sure. Mr. Midal.
Here.
Mrs. Hoy.
Here.
Mr. Patrick.
Here.
Mr. Olszewski. Mr. Lemke.
Here.
Mr. Kearns.
Here.
Mr. Levecki.
Here.
And Mrs. Ling.
Present.
Okay, we have a period for public comment on the agenda. Does anyone have anything they wish to bring to the attention of the Planning Commission that is not on the agenda this evening? No? Okay. We have minutes from April 14th.
Mr. Chairman, I looked at the minutes. They look okay to me, so I make a motion we approve.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
We have two public hearings tonight. The way we typically conduct public hearings are we allow the applicant to come up and give a presentation. The Planning Commission may or may not ask questions, and we throw it open to the what? I don't know, she's signaling. And we throw it open to the audience to have any comments they may care to make. So first one is the public hearing for CU 126. This is Redwood Development concerning the excavation of steep slopes. It's in 62 acres on Wilson Road, and this is in a R3 high-density residential zoning. Is someone here representing the applicant?
Yes, sir. My name is Richard Batt.
Okay, Richard, do you have plans or something you want?
I have a presentation. I think they're...
Trying to get it up?
Yes, sir. Okay, first, I want to tell you a little bit about Redwood, who we are, what we do, and then go a little bit in further to what we want to do in Murraysville. So about us, we're a Cleveland, Ohio-based, single-story ranch attached apartment developer. And the company is around 30 years old. We have over 20,000 units spread over 9 states. You'll see up there our core values. We are very determined to live by our core values. I think ones that are going to be particularly important to you are deliver more than expected and communicate openly and honestly and demonstrate integrity and authenticity. I think you will find that that's who we are. Again, 20,000 units. You can see our map of where we are located, Midwest and the Carolinas. We have 600 employees. The important thing about this is everything we build, we keep. We are not merchant builders. We do not sell. We keep and we manage ourselves. So when there's an apartment neighborhood that is a Redwood partner neighborhood, some of our 600 employees will be working on that. The important thing about that is discipline, training, consistency, where we're managing our own employees. As you can see, we have numerous awards for our culture with our employees, where we're top workplaces, best workplace in real estate, top employer, National Apartment Association. It's because our employees like working here. Who are our residents? So our residents, median age is over 50. And that speaks to speaks to our product. Our product is mostly 2-bedroom, 2-bath ranch product with an attached garage. We do some 1-bedrooms, we do some 3-bedrooms, but the vast majority is 2-bedroom, 2-bath, And the floor plans are fair housing, accessible, and ADA handicap accessible. And so the layouts are conducive to empty nesters. Again, 70% of our residents are empty nesters. Most of them live in your community already, within 3 miles. I'm sure all of you have heard, boy, I want to sell my house. I don't want to be in this house anymore, but I don't want to leave Murraysville. And the fact of the matter is you don't want them to leave either, because they're paying you taxes, they're volunteering in your organizations, they're attending your events. So you don't want them to leave, they don't want to leave. But maybe they don't want to plow the snow anymore, maybe they don't want to cut the grass anymore, maybe they're worried about a leaky roof. When you move into a Redwood, we take care of all that. When the other big benefit to the community is those empty nesters who would like to move out of their homes. Their home goes up for sale, a young family moves in, and they make improvements to the home. They cut the grass better, they do new landscaping, they redo the kitchen, they finish the basement. So it helps regenerate the housing stock in Murraysville. We do not have a large number of residents in each apartment. Our average among those 20,000 units is 1.65 residents per unit, 1.5 cars per unit. So we are not a huge draw on current traffic conditions. And even beyond that, considering a lot of our tenants are empty nesters, they have a tendency to not want to travel at peak times. So we really produce far less traffic than you would expect. We do not typically have a large impact on the schools other than the taxes we pay. Typically, because of who our tenants are, which, again, 70% empty nesters, the other 30% is typically young professionals, teachers, nurses, law enforcement, firemen. Those are the kind of people that are typically our tenants that are not empty nesters. So in these, so considering who our tenants are, it is an average among our properties for every 100 apartment homes, there's 7 to 10 minors that are in the school system, which is, when you think about it, you have 100 residences and you have, let's say, tops 10 students in the school system. We are actually a net gain for the school system. Large portion of our residents stay, 12%, more than 5 years. 3.5% of our original residents after 10 years are still there. The thing we're doing is we are providing the gap housing. When I was younger, the expectation was you were going to have your children in your 20s and 30s. I think that's still the case biologically. You were going to become an empty nesters in your 50s and 60s, and you were going to retire at 65, and you're probably not going to be around a whole lot longer than that. The world's changed. Are you going to be 90? Are you going to be 100? So somewhere after you want to get out of your house, you want to find a nice place to live. Keeps you still independent, keeps you still independent, keeps you active in your neighborhood, and it allows you to stay, rather than being worried about, well, I want to sell my house. Well, I can't sell my house because I don't have anywhere to go. But I can't maintain this anymore. I can't go upstairs anymore, and I want to find somewhere to live. I don't want to go to assisted living. That's not where I'm at. I'm in much better shape than that. I'm in much better health than that, and we are providing that gap housing for people who are in that situation where now you're still becoming an empty nesters in your 50s, and you might live another 35 years. And where are you going to live? And hopefully it's Redwood. We self-manage. We are careful who we rent to. We do background checks on every resident. We do credit checks. We do rental history. We civil judgment checks. And for people who have those kind of things with unanswered questions, we won't rent to them. And so we actually have more ability to control who our tenants are than a single-family neighborhood does. So the other, again, I think this is just more of the same. I'll move on to one. So why choose to live in an apartment? I went over a lot of it, which is, you know, the difference between moving out of a single-family house and going to somewhere where somebody's cutting your grass, plowing your snow, fixing your roof, all those things. There's also financial reasons. You know, a lot of people, their largest asset is their house. And, you know, a lot of people are retiring now, and we're the people retiring now are really the kind of first wave of people who had to provide for their own retirement through 401k rather than company pensions. I know some of the people in this room, it's a different situation, but in general, you know, that more of the population is getting like that every year. And your largest asset, you know, you're dependent on that, your house, and you're dependent on whatever savings you have and returns on your savings, those kind of things. And get to be able to sell your house, get the liquidity event of selling your house and putting that money in bank or investments or whatever you do with it and paying us rent, you've been able to really change your standard of living and give yourself more security. And the other part of it is you're selling your house when you want to sell your house. You know, you're not trying to sell your house in the middle of COVID, or you're not trying to sell your house when interest rates are 15%. You're trying to sell your house when it's best for you. So what do our residents deserve? Single-story apartments. Again, you know, nobody lives above you, nobody lives below you. You know, you don't have the same kind of noise. You have a two-car attached garage. You have a personal patio. You have stone and shake siding and accents, extensive landscaping. So the bottom line between this and the next one about square footage, open floor plans, granite countertops, private entries, vaulted ceilings, energy efficient appliances, we're providing a nice place to live. That's the bottom line to those two slides. Why choose Redwood? Again, attached garage, unique address. So you're not in Building B, Apartment 303. You are 700 Marysville Lane or whatever, or 700 Wallflower Lane. You have a prime address. You have a private entrance, upgraded features, energy efficiency, on-site management, very important. Our neighborhoods have an on-site property manager, on-site service tech, and they're there all week, and they're there on call if they're not there that day, and they take care of a lot of the smaller maintenance problems. They take care of our tenants. Maintenance specs, I'm not going to dwell on them except for to say we plow your snow, we cut your grass, we take care of your landscaping, we do all those things for you. It's baked into your rent. Just some sample floor plans. You know, some 2 bedrooms. There's a 1 bedroom up there. But, you know, again, the forest wood you see in the top right corner, that's kind of our bread and butter plan. That's what we have most of the units will be. There'll also be mixing in top left a fair number of the willow woods. And those are the floor plans. I can give people hard copies if they want to see it, look at it longer or more. I'm trying to be respectful of your time. Long-term maintenance. I am giving you an example of a project that we built in 2006. It rents from $15.69 to $24.71 a month. It's 99% occupied, and in 2017 it won the Gold Award for Overall Community Appeal, Top 10 Award for Community Appeal, 100% Award for Overall Community Appeal. The point to this is we take care of our property. We are long-term owners. Again, as I said earlier, we have never sold anything we've built. And so we're very conscious of maintenance. Every month, when we collect the rent and we pay our bills, we put money aside for capital improvements. And we have an ongoing capital improvement department that goes through the buildings And if it needs countertop upgrades or cabinet upgrades, or if it needs a new roof or those kind of things, we actually save up money to provide for that stuff. Just a couple of typical interiors. You notice the vaulted ceilings. You notice the luxury vinyl plank flooring. You'll notice the granite countertops. You'll notice the upgraded cabinets. You'll notice the kitchen island. You'll notice the ceiling fan. Again, bedrooms. You'll see a bedroom, and bathroom. Again, same kind of thing. You know, in the bathroom, luxury vinyl tile, the granite countertops. Very important, the picture on the right, all of our units have a pantry. Not a lot of apartments have the units. On the left, you'll see a finished walk-in closet. And again, typical to the level of finishes that we provide. So where are we? You see us in the purple pin. You guys probably know the location better than I do since you live here, but that's where we are. I zoomed in a little bit. There's the site a little bit closer. And here is our site plan. You will notice what we have done is we're basically trying to avoid the steepest of the slopes. You'll see there's a lot of green on this, which is the steep slope areas that we're trying not to disturb. Our units are basically at kind of ridge tops. Each pod of units, the roadway sidewalks within that pod of units is ADA compliant. The roads in between to get from one pod of units to the other have some more slope to them, but the pods of units have basically stayed ADA compliant. That is my presentation. I tried to move quickly to respect your time. If you have any questions.
Well, I think this is a public hearing for the conditional use, which is the excavation
Steep slopes.
That's
portion
correct.
of it. Are you prepared to get into that, sir?
Yes, I have my engineer here,
Okay.
whose competency in that area is much further than mine.
We love competency, yes.
Josh Schreiber with American Structure Point. So yeah, the site, the majority of it is relatively steep and wooded. So we are here because there are some slopes that are over 40% that we're going to get into. So we have offset that by trying to ensure that the majority of our site is below 4-to-1, hopefully below 3-to-1. But there are some areas that are in the range of 40 to 50% beyond our buildings.
It appears to me that you're pretty much excavating on the whole site.
Yes.
Okay, so just about everything that's there now will be gone. As far as trees and vegetation, it'll all be replanted.
Yes, within the developed area, we are keeping at least 50 feet of tree buffer along the majority of the site.
Okay, and you're aware that the slopes that are left, according to our steep slope ordinance, they must be planted with something, trees.
Yes, sir, reforestation.
Okay, reforestation plan. Okay, you haven't submitted that yet.
It'll come with our full improvement plans.
Well, if you're asking for conditional use on excavation, I think we'll need to have that
Now,
now.
Okay. We do show our landscape plan that has the areas for it. The details of it will come with those plans.
Okay. And I see that you have a secondary entrance off of,
Valley View.
Yes, ma'am.
what's the name of that?
Valley View.
Valley View Street. Is that to be fully opened, or is that just an emergency
No,
access?
sir, that's gated emergency only.
Gated emergency only with the first responders having some sort of access to it?
Correct, yes.
Okay. And the streets and all are all private?
That is correct. Private concrete streets.
Okay. Have you had any conversations with the Soil Conservation Service in Westmoreland County on this plan?
No, not yet. Like I said, that will come with the next set of plans for the full development.
Okay. And so you haven't gotten involved with the DEP and everybody else on this yet?
No, sir, not yet.
I thought I saw something. Did you submit some stormwater calculations with this?
There are not stormwater calculations. We have, well, yes, we did a preliminary drainage plan for it to ensure that our drainage basins were appropriately sized. So yes, sorry.
Okay. I see you had, what, 2 detention pond
Two dry
areas?
detention basins on site to handle the storm.
Okay.
I will point out there are wetlands as well as floodplain along the north side of the site that we are staying out of, maintaining buffers to ensure those are not damaged or.
Right. See that. How much, did you do a earthwork calculation on this?
Slope stability study?
No, earthwork, how much
Cut and
dirt you gonna
fill.
move?
Oh, yes. Okay, sorry. Cut fill, yes. We have. We believe we are in a balanced condition. Obviously, we'll work with the contractor to absolutely guarantee that, but we don't believe anything will get hauled away or imported in.
What's the total quantity of earth moving?
Oh, man. I believe it's around 230,000 cubic yards, but I'm going to have to look back at the calculations. That's not something I had right off the top of my head.
And I see from your geotech report, which I guess was done off of a previous scheme that you had,
Yes, sir.
but it looked like there was some areas that had some heavy rock.
Yes, sir.
You're aware of that?
Yes, sir. So, and since that previous scheme that you're referencing, we have raised up a little bit to try to get out of that heavy rock. Hopefully avoid the majority of it. I believe we cut it in half. We had a contractor on board doing some estimates. He said originally we're cutting around 70,000 and we believe we're down to 35,000.
Yards of rock. Okay. This is probably not a question for the engineer, but more or less the guy from Redwood. When I move in, if I wanted to move in here, how long a lease do I sign?
It's typically a year lease.
1-year leases?
Yes.
Okay. And this is not an age-restricted community?
It is not.
Okay.
Income restricted? Are they income restricted either?
Are you talking about subsidized? There is no income. It's market rate. It's not subsidized. I think what you're asking is do the people get vouchers, those kind of things? Is that what you're asking?
Well, not technically, but that's typically what's associated with those, yes.
Yeah, no, we as a company policy do not accept vouchers.
What's the construction, 2x4, 2x6?
It is 2x6. In many cases, there are some 2x4. Adam's probably- Exterior walls are 2x6.
And what's the type of insulation?
It is
Is it fiberglass or is it foam?
in fiberglass. I'm an accountant, sorry.
Is the siding, the pictures, it looks like sticky stone, and is it vinyl siding?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
In some cases, we also use shake accents, vinyl shake accents as well to improve the architectural appearance.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Go ahead.
You mentioned that you take care of all the maintenance and so forth. I didn't see on the plan where you have maintenance facilities or...
We have a maintenance garage.
It's,
When I looked at this,
No, that's not it.
Allow me to get a little closer. Yeah, it's next to the leasing office.
the leasing office is not really a clubhouse or anything?
No, we do not do clubhouses.
Okay?
because our residents generally don't want them, because they're coming within 3-mile circles of the property, and a lot of the things that you would have in a rec center, they're already engaged in already in the community.
Okay, and, okay, so no clubhouse.
I got a question. You said they're ADA compliant, but I saw in one of your pictures a conventional bathtub,
So there's 2 bathrooms in every unit.
okay?
And so one of the bathrooms is ADA adaptable. We put a shower in, we have a replacement shower with a lower lip if there's an ADA person, and we already have the walls blocked to put the handrails in.
Okay.
So we actually have an ADA consultant, because of what we do and because of the size of our company, we actually have an ADA consultant and an ADA attorney, and because of our hysteria over the ADA things, we also hired CEC here in Pittsburgh to review our plans and give us their ADA people's opinions, who agreed with the ADA attorney and the ADA consultant we already have. So I feel pretty good about that.
And you're aware under our building code that because there are more than 2 units, they're all going to require internal sprinkler systems?
That is a conversation that needs to happen between the building department and our architect, because there are ways that there is a way we construct these that is not the case. But that is soon to come.
That's it, okay. I just want to make you aware that that's a possibility.
I understand that completely, and we have this conversation with every city we go in.
Okay,
Are there block walls between
No,
units?
no, but there is a fire separation wall,
Between each unit?
yes,
And those walls are insulated?
yes,
Interior walls?
yes, for both fire protection and for sound.
okay. Anyone else up here have?
I have a question that goes back to the engineering, I think.
Sir.
Something you said earlier made me think you were trying to grade the slopes, flatten the slopes out to a certain percentage
Yes.
in the proposed condition.
Yes, sir.
And I notice it looks like you're grading every inch of the site except for around the perimeter, correct?
Yes. Lack of a better-
So the geotech did allow you to go up to 2-to-1 slopes, correct?
Correct.
Is there a reason why you didn't do that?
The stability, factor of safety on the slope stability analysis gets pretty low. So yeah, the lower we can get the slopes, the better off we are, the more likely we are to be able to establish vegetation. So no, we didn't want to go all the way up to 2-to-1 if we could avoid it at all.
So did the geotech report get revised?
It has been revised. And I think it was revised late last week.
We received
We
it
got
today.
it today.
Oh, we don't have it in our
We
Dropbox?
don't have it, but you have it.
Okay.
Okay, so that was then increased in the geotech report, I'm assuming, that,
Correct.
Up
And
from
all
that
those
2-to-1?
slopes that were that high were reduced, therefore increasing the factor of safety. That
okay.
answers your question and concern.
What's the electrical service in each unit in terms of amperage?
I'm just the site guy.
Yeah, 150.
150.
What if you have an electric car?
I believe that we had, now have not had the direct conversation with the person that this came from, but I believe the 150 accommodates the electric car.
So if somebody wanted to, well, you're going to build these and then rent them. So a person doesn't have any options or ability to change it. Like you can't get a 200 amp service.
Yes, you can. Yes, we have a package that if the tenant wanted to put electric charger in their garage, they could. I mean, it costs some money, but they can.
What's the size of the garages?
Yeah, 20 by 20. I had that one right. 20 by 20.
Oh, so that just fits the cars. Yeah, it just fits the cars.
Correct. I think often, again, let's go back to 1.5 cars per unit. I mean, you don't have a full garage in every unit.
And do you have a stipulation where you can't have, say, a pickup truck with somebody's name on it? Like some communities here have that.
I'm going to tell you, I don't know the answer to that. It would be a term in our lease, and our lease is, you know, like pages of little bitty print. So I can't tell you that one.
Just curious.
I didn't see any off-street parking areas. Are there any?
As far as parking, there are off-street parking. I believe there's 168 units, and we usually aim for 25% off-street parking. So I believe there's 41 or 42 on the site. That's just off the top of my head. Apologize, I can't remember it directly. Each driveway is also 25 feet long and accommodates 2 cars as well.
So, looking at the site plan, trying to figure out where.
Could I come up and
You got
point?
some here, here,
Okay.
here.
All right.
couple
So you've
here.
already accounted for some of that. How many did you say?
Usually we aim for 25% of the total number of units. 168 units, I believe it's about 42 on the site.
If you're having a rave, it's not going to work, huh?
Any more questions from up here?
Not very many raves.
The forest wood is what, 32% of the units? What's the average rent per month for one? Just curious.
I think there was one.
We believe in this market, it'll be around $2,700 a month. I want to go back to the parking for 1 second, if we could, please.
Sure.
Each unit has a 2-car garage, 2 parking spaces in the driveway, plus sporadically throughout the unit, or throughout the sidewalk plan, there's like roughly another 40. We grossly exceed your parking requirement.
I'm sure you do. The practicality of it is people move in and the garage becomes a storage area and their cars get parked in the driveway, and then when somebody comes to visit, they're in the yard or in the street or someplace. Just, that's what I wanted to ask the question.
Yep, understand that. We actually do police that.
Yes, okay. All right.
I have one question, if I may. Where is the closest community to this one that you're looking at in Murraysville? Where's the next closest Redwood community?
Canton, Ohio, probably.
Okay, I'm sorry, I know page 3 was the map. I didn't
Yeah,
get to
probably
look at it.
Canton, Ohio.
Is this your first one in Pennsylvania then?
Yes, it is.
Okay. What made you choose Murraysville?
Demographics, the Murraysville people are our people. Literally, when you look at the number of people that live here, the incomes, the general age of the population, the housing values, those kind of things are, the age of housing, all those things are, you look at Murraysville, and they just are a star in every box.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Anyone in the audience? I'll start over here. I'm going to start on this side, sir. Just anyone over here on this, my right? No? Okay, gentleman back here raised his hand. Could you please give us your name and address, please? And you can pull that microphone out if you.
My name is Bill McMaster. I live at 2392 Wheatland Circle, and I think from the general pictures we've seen, it looks as though we're going to be real close neighbors. And the community, as we've seen it proposed, looks like it's going to be attractive to a number of folks, and would be a lot of folks would probably want to live in a community like that. And it looks like it's going to be a boon for the Murraysville community at large. However, I'm here I see a number of my neighbors, and our concern is that this all appears to be, we can get information on how wonderfully and how attractively the deck chairs are going to be arranged on the Titanic that's our backyard. Right now, our rear elevation is all wooded, and I've been hearing about excavation, but from where the property seems to be located, it's low down at the bottom of Wilson Road. Our property is up here, and I'm hearing that we want to keep things relatively level, so we're obviously curious about how this rear elevation is going to affect our property. And that's why, that's brought me to this meeting. And I just haven't heard anything about that. And what's the back of our properties? And it looks like everyone that got a letter, like myself, are all on that side of Wheatland Circle, where we actually abut up against the property that this development includes. So I'd like to hear information on how the elevation is going to be conducted in the back and how close it's going to come to where we are. And are we going to have this kind of a drop off from where we live now to this down here, and how that could impact ground stability and so forth? That's the thing I'd like to hear about, so.
Well, we'll have the site engineer give a brief explanation of that, but one of the things that this community does, they require a geotechnical report, which means they've gone out and drilled a bunch of holes in the ground and determined the rock strata and the soil strata. And they're required to do a slope stability analysis to make sure that we don't have any such problems. Now, I believe he said that there's a 50-foot buffer around, but please, sir, could you try to give this gentleman some answers or idea of where they are and where you're going to be?
He's here for the field.
The site plan or the?
He was real involved.
So you're right down there, more or less?
If that's the back of Wheatland Circle, that's.
Yes, sir, it
We're
is.
right about in that area.
Okay, so at minimum, you see that here.
Right at the bottom, right there.
Wheatland Circle's right here?
Yes,
On the southern? Wilson
it is
Road
over here to the left.
along Western boundary. So the entrance is here.
Wait a minute. We're not going to take too many questions from the audience. So if you have a question, we'll get to you.
Speak.
All right, so go ahead, sir. Try to answer this man's
So
question.
yes, your home is about here. We have at least 50 foot of buffer that maintains the existing trees. The existing trees will not be touched in that 50-foot buffer, at minimum 50 feet. And then that's where we will cut. For the most part, we will be below where you are at there on Wheatland. According to our geotech and the slopes that we are proposing, there is no way we would destabilize your homes, your land.
Okay.
that.
So try to use the microphone, sir.
You can.
Sorry, we only have one microphone. That's all we can afford.
I apologize. I could have carried it up there. I apologize. But within that 50-foot buffer, we will not be destabilizing or removing any trees, and we will maintain, for the most part, we will be below existing grade with those homes or with those units.
Sir, just going by previous plans that have come through here, those questions are always coming out from the adjoining neighbors. Perhaps you, in your final submission, you could cut some cross sections to show where those houses are, how far away, and you can get a visual idea of how things are. You could do that.
See, what's interesting, when you say that you're going to not remove any trees, you know, how do you do the transition without removing trees? That's why I think the elevations would be really helpful.
We're not removing any trees within that 50-foot buffer. At minimum, that's the minimum amount of trees are going to stay. The transition will happen outside of that 50-foot buffer.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, so the elevations that Bob's asking for would be really helpful, yeah.
Okay, sir, anything else?
The one last question I have is, I think I heard the gentleman say that this is where we are versus this is where we plan to be. So can we assume that it's pretty much a done deal right now? Has the property already been acquired?
There's no done deal
Okay.
yet.
I think there was someone over here in the back on the right that wanted to ask something or had a comment. No? Yes, ma'am. Could you come forward and give us your name and address?
I'm Diane Doherty at 2372 Wheatland Circle. I just wondered what the timeline is of everything. I know this is a conditional use public hearing. So can you give me any idea, like
Months.
months? Okay.
I mean, they've just started down this road. So they've got to deal with the Soil Conservation Service, probably the DEP. There'll be more meetings and hearings with us. And then, once we're done with them, then we send it off to council and they do the same thing. So,
And then what is your timeline as far as like, if everything's approved construction-wise, what's the timeline?
yes.
One mic.
Typically, after we get all of the approvals that he's talking about, we would start construction on the site in probably 60 days, within that time period, somewhere's thereabouts. To build this entire project out is probably a three-year build, I would think, something in that range. Does that answer?
Yes, that's the answer. And one other question, the entrance to the plan, where is that?
It's off of Wilson Road,
Do you know, like, how far down?
about halfway down, isn't it?
He's going to put it back up for us.
There's
I can do it a lot easier right here.
22.
Wilson Road, it's right here.
That's not the road. That's Wilson Road.
Where are the existing houses?
Okay, so we flipped it, got it.
On Wilson. So it's, do you know approximately how far past the
supposed to
last
confuse us old
existing house that is?
400 feet?
400 to 500 feet?
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm just looking at lots.
thank you.
Okay, anyone else? If not, do we have another one? Oh,
Couple more, one on each side.
okay. Let's get this guy over here.
Okay, hold on.
Wait, hold on a second, sir. This guy's coming up.
My name is Larry Buckwalter. I live at 2384 Wheatland Circle. I wanted to bring up something that happened within the last several years. We received letters, or at least I did, from Sunoco Logistics about a pipeline going through in the back. I'm wondering if you're aware of this and how this would affect this development.
I'm not aware of it. Redwood, are you guys aware of this?
Are you aware of it?
Yes, we are.
Okay, so what's happened?
Yes, we are aware of this, and it does fall within the 50-foot buffer, so we are not touching the area of the pipeline. We will have to cross it with our emergency access and probably some utilities,
Have
which
they
obviously
given-
we'll have
Do
to
you have
permit with
information on where this is proposed?
them. The pipeline?
Yes,
The existing pipeline, yes, we do.
it's already there. Okay.
Yeah, we have it surveyed, and it's incorporated in our
It's
design.
on the plan.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
Gentleman over here.
I live at 3151 Wilson Road. There's two
Name?
houses. Fred Carrera, right above Holmes Greenhouse.
Oh, yeah.
A couple questions. I can see on your map you have a turnaround right behind my property. Now, do you put street lighting throughout your plan? Will I be affected by lights?
Can you speak up, because I didn't hear your question. Speak into the microphone, please.
I'm just questioning, he has a turnaround which is right behind my property.
Okay.
And I just wonder if they put street lights throughout their property, which will give me, light pollution, whatever.
Okay. Good, sir. You can answer the gentleman's question?
So typically, we do not put streetlights throughout the property. The property is lit by coach lights on the garages that are not under the control of the residents. So they're photo cell, they come on when it's dark. So it's like garage height, garage door, both side coach lights is how we light the property. You know, our residents don't want it either. So,
Second question would be, do you intend to take all the soil from the top of the hill and throw it down in the valley? To fill the
No.
valley up, which you said which is steep from Wilson Road down is a valley and goes back up the hill? You're going to fill that valley up with the soil from the top of the hill?
To some degree, yes. They'll be cut from the higher areas and fill into the lower areas to create the areas for the building. And then also the 50-foot buffer also goes around your property where those trees will be maintained.
How far back off of Old 22 is that your closest fill area?
Off of Wilson Road or?
Off of Old 22.
Okay. Can you bring up the C300? I think you had it flashed up there for just a minute. Because that area is largely a very broad wetlands and floodplain.
Yes.
So we are staying completely out of that. I don't have a distance off the top of my head, but you can see it schematically here.
Several hundred feet.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Trying to answer the gentleman's question, where they're not filling the valley down below where the stream and the wetlands and all that is.
We will,
They're not touching that.
Old existing pond down at the bottom there. How's the holding pond?
yeah, you can
You
see,
gonna use that holding pond?
no. The blue, yellow, green, red are areas where we're going to be doing development, moving earthwork. I think I misunderstood. I thought you were concerned about the low-lying area along Wilson. On those, on the slopes there in the northwest and near our entrance.
So could you use a microphone, please? Could you use
Speak into the
could you
microphone,
use the
please.
microphone, please?
Wilson Road is very busy. I assume you're gonna just put a stop sign? Not
We
a
haven't gotten
three-way
there
stop
yet.
sign?
Not
We
yet.
haven't gotten there yet.
This is just baby steps.
One more question. There's a water line which goes back through the property right there at the pipeline. You're just gonna, you have to leave that right of way open, correct?
Yes, correct.
What, 15 feet each side?
10 feet. So there is a 36-inch water main that goes through the site in a diagonal southwest to northeast manner. We are maintaining a 20-foot easement on it. We have potholed it. We know its elevation, and we're going to ensure that it stays intact.
You're able to put a road on top of that?
The road will be adjacent to it, and there'll be a few driveways that cross it.
Thank you. Anyone else?
I have just one other closing comment. Again, speaking for my neighbors, I'm sure some of them might agree with me. We already have, well, first of all, the community we live in is Westmoreland Farms, and so named because it was once rolling farmland. And we're smart enough to realize nothing's always permanent, going to last forever, and so forth. But we're already welcomed home on most days with the wonderful Jenga house towers of Reagan Ridge. And so we have that to contend with, and so we're gradually seeing our community being diced up with things that we didn't plan for in the beginning and so forth. So it's just, we're trying to save as much of the rear of our property as we can. I know our neighbors down at Lower Wheatland coming in put up with those properties there that are yet, I guess, unsold, but we're just trying to keep, the flavor of the community that we moved into in the first place, so.
All right, thank you. Gentleman in the back corner there.
Sorry, when I,
Could you
No.
give us your name and address, please, sir?
sorry, when I came in, my letter said the meeting was supposed to start at 7:30, and I came in about 7:10, so it looks like I'm late. But my name's Dr. Scott Witten. I live at the very end of Valley View Court, and I might be a little dense, but I could not see Valley View Court, and I can't see what their plans to, it's a cul-de-sac, so technically it's not a dead end. And my question is, are they going to extend it? And if they do, what do you do with the circle?
Sir, could you pull up your,
You look right here. We are going to make an emergency connection that will be gated off. Right there.
So you're going to extend it, and what's that going to be called?
We haven't named the road yet, but it will be gated off and not used except for emergency conditions. Nothing will happen to the bulb of the cul-de-sac.
Only the
Because
fire department.
I'm the last house right here. And there is some sort of a line here that has a 15-foot right-of-way, I believe.
I believe you're referring to the Sunoco gas pipeline. That's
Yes.
going through there. Yes.
Well, there's also a water
maintained.
line that comes through here the whole way up, and I've been told it's the main water line for Greensboro.
It's a 36-inch
Yeah.
water line that goes through there and will be maintained.
So you're going to extend the cul-de-sac?
The cul-de-sac is going to remain untouched. We will connect a private road, drive, however you want to call it, with a gate on it for emergency access.
You're in Valley View, right?
Pardon me?
That's the second,
Yeah,
that's the second cul-de-sac. I don't think you're connecting, you're not connecting with that one.
yeah, Valley View.
Yeah, Valley View is the one he's
I
talking
believe we
Okay,
are.
all right, okay. All right.
Yes, sir.
So you're not extending it, but you're putting a gate, and the road's going to be on the other side of the gate?
Yes, sir.
Anyone else? Okay, staff, what do you recommend? We continue the public hearing on this since,
I believe that with the new submission of the geotech, we'll have to do a re-review, and I think that that could be continued.
they give you a microphone down there?
Yes.
All right. All right. Entertain a motion to continue the public hearing until a later date.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we will continue this public hearing. We're going to have more information, and you'll have another opportunity to question what's going on and speak.
Do a second? Second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Thank you. Okay, we have another public hearing. And if you don't want to stick around for it, we appreciate if you'd go out in the hallway to talk. All right, I'm out of here.
Make sure this is nice.
Okay, this second public hearing is about revising ordinance 1111-26. And this is to amend Chapter 220 of our code, which deals with zoning. And we're going to talk about making requirements for data centers, data center accessory uses, solar energy facilities, forests, and apiaries, which are beehives. So a little bit of background, I guess the forestry, we have, right now we have that as a conditional use. The state has overruled us and said that it must be a permitted use in all districts.
That's correct. That happened a couple years ago. It came up with someone who applied for a timber harvesting permit recently, and Chief Administrator Nestico looked back, something that kind of started and just kind of went away.
Okay, so-
Figured this is the time. It's pretty simple, just make it a permitted use in all districts.
And the beehives, under our present ordinance, are somewhat restricted to what, 10-acre parcels in a RR zone.
They are in RR, so they would be permitted in RR with 10 acres, conditional in R1 and R2 with 10 acres. They're classified as livestock, same as owls, pigs.
They're really not livestock.
Exactly, so
we're changing the definition.
make it a little simpler and change that definition.
So, Mike, we've all got the 19 pages of revised ordinance here, and I don't know if you, I was hoping that everybody would have the opportunity to go through this. Is there anything you want to bring to our attention, Mike?
Yeah, a couple things. It was pointed out by the EAC and a couple of you that the original language for the setbacks was very restrictive. That came from a model ordinance, and I agree that was, I think it was 400 feet at the time. So that's just impossible. So it's been reduced to 200, but up for discussion if you would like to reduce that further, if you think 200 is good. And aside from that, it's really just things like landscaping, dimensional standards, aesthetics, noise and vibration. Some of the model ordinances for data centers have new standards. Some reference existing ones in the respective zoning ordinances. So question would be, are we happy with what our regulations already are? Will they work, or do we want to make them more restrictive, I guess?
Well, here's the problem with the noise. This is my observation. When somebody goes out and does a noise study, like they did for some of the wells around here, they found out that the birds and crickets exceeded the noise level already. So how we, that's one question I have as to how we're going to handle that. Dealing with that. And to me, I've been reading so much about these data centers, and people have, all over the country, have really gotten all upset over these things, and so there's all kinds of laws and changes being put out there to basically drive them away, make them go someplace else. To me, it's just a big warehouse.
I think they would make the same argument.
It uses a lot of electricity, it might use a little bit of water.
That is true. Yes. I think
I even saw where
any
Pulte
developer
Homes
would make the
is
same
now
argument.
studying ways to put them in houses.
Yes.
Little mini
nodes.
Little mini nodes, and of course our good hero Elon Musk, he wants to put them all up in space.
Which is fine with me.
Yeah, so I'm not sure where we're at with these
We have
things, but
jurisdiction over that.
I think it's a lot up for discussion.
Yeah, I don't know if the intention of this is really to push them away as much as just to have some sort of definition. We have no
Control them.
defined, control, and there's no defined. And I believe Oakmont just passed an ordinance, and they went on the record and said, we know one can't fit here, but we wanted to define it. We wanted to have regulations for it. So same thing. We should at least have a definition. We should have a way to regulate it.
I don't know where Oakmont would find
That's what they said, they couldn't,
They said they can't fit one.
They buy
place
a
down
country club.
Oakmont East is not part of Oakmont. It's actually in Plum Borough, so. So the only place we're permitting them with your changes here is in the B district, correct?
That's correct. Since we don't have an industrial district, most places would permit it in industrial, but we kind of lump those into one district. I guess the other big question would be for the solar energy facilities. This draft does have it as conditional in RR and R1, since they are sometimes combined with traditional farming activities. So that is something we can discuss if you think that makes sense there, if we want to set a size restriction on the parcels for those.
I don't know how you do that, but, you'd have to do some really careful wordsmithing to do that. And one of the problems I have in reading the definition of a solar energy facility large versus a small.
Yeah, so the small, you're talking about on page 3?
Yes, page 3.
Yeah, so the small one would be if you wanted a couple panels in your yard. That would be a small one, residential.
Yeah, I get what you're trying to do here, but I think I can see some skullduggery coming about, particularly where it says solar energy facility large. The last sentence, it says solely for off-site use. So what happens if somebody comes along and says, well, I'm going to use part of this
Power the data center.
for my house or my data center or whatever, and
Ooh, stir the pot.
and then what does it become then? I think we just need to hone in on that. That's my only
Yeah,
comment.
I see what you're saying, but, good point.
Anybody else have any comments or questions on this?
Yeah, the one thing I think that one of the big oppositions is the aesthetics. See a big field of solar arrays. Now, my understanding is that, you mentioned our hero, Elon, he's supposed to be installing setups now that have a more aesthetically pleasing appearance. And so I guess the question is there any concern or any ideas of how you regulate these things from that standpoint, or you just say we're going to live with whatever's out there?
I think that gets into, isn't there some standards on screening
Yeah,
these things?
Yeah.
It's in here.
That's where I would,
E,
I think we should
section E.
focus on how do you screen this
Yeah,
thing?
D, visual appearances.
Section 4E.
What page is that,
That's
Ryan?
on page.
Section 4E.
Page 5?
Yeah.
11?
Yeah, page 11D.
Yeah, D and E.
Yeah, I think that needs to get tied in with some landscaping.
Landscaping is on the
E-
next page under N. I did add, after our last discussion, some landscaping, because I think it was lacking last time.
Okay. Now, it's my understanding that we want to get this to be pending status.
I believe that's the case.
Okay.
We do have this on the agenda later for, I guess, further discussion and recommendation, so.
Okay. This is a public hearing. Does any members of the planning commission have any more comments?
Did we have somebody in the public?
Well, I realize I don't want to get up here first.
No.
No?
Yeah.
All right, and members of the public? Yes, ma'am. Could you give us your name and address, please?
Jamie has a question.
I had one question. I was talking with Anthony beforehand. Part of the ordinance calls for remediation within the solar farming part, but there's nothing within the data center part. And I was hoping that possibly Planning Commission could address that. So if they leave, to make sure that the land is returned to how it was, so we're not left with,
A big box.
yeah, and debris and possibly contamination or anything like that. Or
Okay, that's something
big
maybe
data cells.
we can look into that. Yes, ma'am.
Good evening. My name is Ellen Catter, and I live at 4002 Mayflower Court here in Murraysville. I'm new to this, kind of new to this. However, I'm a bit confused. What are we talking about? We're talking about a data center and solar panels?
Yeah.
Separate?
Yes.
Yes.
Two different items.
Two different items. Okay. So that's where I'm a little bit, so I'm a bit disadvantaged. Is the 19-page document that you have in front of you proprietary information, or is that available where?
So it's a draft ordinance. This isn't like a land development or.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. I'd like to see it.
I believe as long as it's a draft, it is just internal right now.
Oh, it's just internal. Okay.
Because it's a draft.
Because it's a draft. I
Once we
get that.
finalize language.
I do drafts
it'll
all
be
the
out
time.
there. Yeah.
Okay, so when would do you have any sense of when it may move out of the draft phase?
So tonight is for discussion with Planning Commission. There will need to be a further public hearing with council. I believe at that point, we will pretty much have the language finalized, and at that public hearing, we'll have it out before that.
I'd be able to
Yes.
put my eyes to it. Okay. So I guess I'm most concerned about the data center issue the amount of land that it's going to require. Where is that land? Who owns that land? Has someone taken over the land for the development of the use of a data center? And I guess I'm concerned about what may be a understatement of the need for the use of water. Where's that water going to come from? Are you working with MAWC? How much is that going to take away from the residents in the area? I'm very, very concerned about that. So maybe I'm jumping ahead, and I'm happy to hear that I'm kind of off base, but that is a big, big deal. It could be 1 million gallons a day to 3 million gallons a day. How are we going to accommodate that water use in what is probably a nearby residential area? How are we going to handle that as a municipality?
Just typically, when you have a system like that, either they have chip fabs or any of these other big operations, they're reusing the water. They're not just going through huge gallonage of water. So the bigger question is, you're rejecting heat, so now how do you dissipate the heat? If you have a power plant, you have cooling towers and all
Right.
that stuff. So the
Right.
big question that I would have is, it's not just the use of water, it's what is the total energy in, energy out
Correct.
footprint of a data center?
Will we be able to benefit from the energy out? And some of that water usage, the water evaporates and is not available for reuse. So that is,
You know, a lot of them are closed systems. Because when you think of a data center, you're thinking of a lot of very, very expensive pieces of electronics.
right,
So the water is highly regulated in terms of chemistry. And it would go
I
through-
know that,
It would go through a heat exchanger.
right.
So the question is, are they putting the energy back into the ground? Are they using ground wells or, so those are the big questions.
Well, I also have get a comment on that too, because a little bit of research I've done is, you know, after you recirculate this stuff so many times, it starts picking up,
Debris,
well, not debris, dissolved metals
right,
and whatnot.
Right.
That could affect our sewage treatment plant. So
Right.
that's one of the things I want to address in here, Mike, is the discharge, potential discharges on it.
now debris may not be the right word,
Yeah,
but you've got it.
okay.
I can tell you there's about 2 pages about water and sewage in this ordinance. So if one were to come in, they would have to give us tons and tons of information on that stuff.
And regulatory bodies
Yeah.
abound, I guess.
Yes. Obviously, third-party
Yeah, some of the new
that are outside of our control
Some
will
of the
still be
new
involved.
data centers are taking advantage of air cooling.
Yes.
As opposed to just water cooling.
Yes.
Problem is power density. Air cooling doesn't give you the cooling density that you
right.
need. That's the problem.
Yeah.
And these-
That's what they're doing in Arizona. They're
I
doing,
understand that. I'm working with companies right now. And we're working on things called cold plates. These are for active cooling. And you're just trying to get more and more computing power in a smaller and smaller package. So air cooling isn't going to do it as you progress further.
But they could have like a combination,
they
right? So
can.
that could lessen people's concern on water usage and things like that.
Ma'am, did you have any other comments for us?
No, but I would like to know, where are we with this project? Are we,
This is the first public hearing.
this is the first public hearing?
Yep.
Okay.
Public airing of
Okay, good.
this.
Since it's still in draft form, you're good.
Yeah.
Okay.
This isn't a project. This is an ordinance so that when a project does come in,
And we're expecting the project, you're expecting that it'll become a project?
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily.
Okay,
we're just anticipating that
Okay.
it might.
okay. So I'll be happy to see that document when
See,
it,
one of the interesting things about Pennsylvania law is that your zoning ordinance must provide a place for everything that you can think of. And so this has become a new thing,
Right.
relatively so, in the past few years. You know, 15 years ago, nobody thought about data centers. 15 years ago, we probably had some business about solar farms. We're just trying to get ahead of the curve and,
Okay, that's good. So you'll probably see me again.
okay.
Thanks.
Gentlemen, this side? Nope, nope. Okay, so do we want to continue this public hearing?
Yes. Make a motion to continue the public hearing?
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Okay, so that ends the public hearings for this evening.
Just looking at.
And we have new business. This is for S-126, the Regala subdivision. Regala? It's not a boat. We're not going to, okay. This is on Haymaker Farm Road. This is a minor subdivision to take a 32-acre parcel and divide it into 2 lots, but one lot is still very large. Is someone here representing the applicant? No?
Move on.
Well,
Got the agenda on Friday.
well, let me ask you this. There was something about they had to get a variance.
Yeah.
Could you explain that to us, Mike?
Yep, let me bring the plan up for you. And Emily can probably give some background because this is, I think he originally applied in 2024 for this, and I don't see the plan yet. Okay. So he intends to build his house all the way up here.
Okay.
But this barn is in the front yard.
Okay.
So I believe, like a year ago, he was told that he could go through with this and post a bond for the demolition of the barn in case his house was never built. Kind of went away. He came back in January with the same plan. We told him his only option was zoning hearing board. He went to it. He was approved for a variance for a structure in the front yard. So he is.
So the barn can remain?
Yes, barn can remain.
They didn't put any other conditions on it?
They put, the general conditions of can't ask for any more variances, have to comply with all conditions that you guys and council set, have to pay all the fees, just generic ones like that.
The usual?
Yeah. The only, I won't even call it an outstanding comment, but the only thing I point out in the review is that the only access for the barn you can see is here. So it will go through this parcel. I suggested a maintenance and access agreement be put in place before he sells this property, just to.
Is that a defined easement through there? I believe it is.
I believe it is, yes.
Okay. The only other thing I noted was, I think on the plan, he ought to put subject to the variance.
Yes, I reached out to Jones Consultants. We actually just got the decision yesterday. It was the 45th day, so they really cut it close there. So he knows the language. He's going to add it to the plans and amend them before it goes to council.
Any members of the Planning Commission have any questions or comments on this?
No.
I do. Pretty simple.
Seems pretty simple. I have a motion to recommend approval of the, what is this? The Regala subdivision.
I'll make a motion that we approve S1-126 Regala subdivision with the condition that the variance language is added to the plan.
And a maintenance agreement on the right-of-way.
And easement and maintenance agreement for the driveway.
Second, thirded, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
I will abstain from voting on this one.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to change the order here since we get into the old business of the baseball fields. First one is the Haymaker Park one.
Hi, good evening. Michael Boker with Target Sports Design, the civil engineer for these projects. We were before you last month with both of these projects, and after that meeting, submitted revised plans and subsequent review letter. Paraphrase both the letters for this project and the next one. We're really down to dealing with the different authorities and utility companies at this point and getting the MPDS permit and possibly a couple of just plan cleanup things at this point.
I saw the letters from the Conservation District. They were rather lengthy.
We're back in with both of those already as well. Those went in about 3 weeks ago. And that would be a condition of approval to obtain the MPDS permit.
Okay, is everybody familiar with these two projects?
Yep.
And Mike, have they answered the questions of our engineer on the stormwater management end of things?
I'll handle that one. As far as the previous comments on stormwater, yes, I believe all except for one about the Weir comment. There was reference to the Weir orientation details provided. I don't know if you saw that one or not.
Yeah, and we'll clean up that detail so that it's shown correctly or so the contractor knows which direction to install it. Yes.
The other one that was open was involving the pipe capacity calculations. And I believe that the question that was answered, the applicant's response previously was about a conversation that I had with someone in your office. They were requesting that the pipe capacity of all of the existing stormwater be studied. Is that correct? But this looks like this comment here references the existing system being adequate. But that's addressed in your stormwater. So I don't think that one should still be an outstanding comment either. And then I believe the only other comment, and I'll get into waivers here, but the other comment involved inspection ports, which they stated in the comments as manned inspection ports, but it's actually visual inspection. So to me,
We're
camera
actually going
ability,
to change that. So instead of having a small 6-inch inspection port that you could still see down to the bottom of the system, we're actually going to put a removable lid that is accessible at the outlet control of each system so that you can see down in there and make sure that it's operating correctly.
Yeah, I think the most concern is that you were able to get some kind of camera visual inspection in there.
Not necessarily a man
Not-
accessible.
It will be a 24-inch lid, so you could, I don't know if I'm getting in there, but somebody could get in there. But you'll be able to see the bottom of the system and know if it's retaining water beyond what it's.
Emily can get down there then.
Facilities guy, man.
You might get in, you might not get
All
back
right.
out.
So basically, with the exception of a couple minor things, the municipality is satisfied.
I believe all the comments are satisfied, but I don't know if the waiver requests were discussed previously
Well, we
at the
haven't
last
just got
meeting.
there yet.
Okay, that's the outstanding.
But as far as you're concerned,
Yes,
based on what
comments were
the gentleman has said here tonight, you're satisfied?
Yes.
Okay. So they have a number of requests for waivers. I believe they're both all the same, are they not?
For the studies and everything that are involved.
Yeah, let's see.
Community
You know, do a traffic study, it's already there. Community impact study, planting plan, lighting
plan's
plan.
one.
The lighting plan for the baseball field, we're not providing any lighting on the field, so that's why
Okay.
we asked for that.
No final landscaping, environmental impact study. These are existing facilities. Air quality studies, acoustic studies, community impact studies. Does anybody have a problem with granting any of these waivers?
I do not.
No.
No? Okay. So we would recommend to council that they grant the waivers as requested.
Yes.
A motion to that effect?
I'll make a motion that we recommend approval of SP-2.
No, excuse me, let's just do the
The
way-
modifications
Just
first?
do the modifications first, yes.
I'll make a recommendation that we recommend approval of the modifications as stated in the briefing, items 1 through 9.
Okay.
Second.
Second, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Was that for just SP2, or was that for both of them? So what was your intention?
I think that was just for the first one.
Okay, it's just
We have
first of
some more.
all.
Yeah, hey, man.
We'll just do it.
I do
Okay.
want to address one other comment that I missed on here, and it's up for Planning Commission's review, obviously, but there was a comment about eating and drinking facilities involving the concession stands and parking. I don't think that that's relevant for what the use is, but that's obviously your determination, so.
I don't think it's relevant
I don't
either.
think so either.
You're not going to get people going to Haymaker Park for dinner if
You're
they're
not
not
going to the
interested in
restaurant.
watching a baseball game.
Okay. So the only thing that we would make for SP2 is that it's conditional upon getting approval from the Soil Conservation Service. Everybody agree with that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Somebody make a motion to that effect?
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to that effect of SP 226.
Okay?
Yep.
Second.
Second, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Okay. Now let's talk about SP 326, which is the school fields project, which is there, you're taking an existing area that's already a ball field, is it not?
There are actually existing fields already in both. There's a softball field and then there's a multi-purpose field. So
And you're-
basically, same thing as the baseball
And
field.
you're just giving it the artificial turf and doing some stormwater stuff on that?
Yes.
And so I assume the waivers are
Same
same waivers?
Same waivers, except we do provide a lighting plan.
Oh, there's an extra
for
waiver?
this.
What's the extra waiver?
For not providing easements, I believe. Easements, rights of way, and full boundary geometry.
That's for showing the full track parcel boundary. Since we're working in a defined area within the center of the site, we just ask that we not have to do a new boundary survey for the whole property.
Everybody understand that? Someone care to make a motion on recommending approval of those waivers?
Just plain and-
Yeah.
I'll
you-
recommend that we make a motion to approve the waivers for SP-3-26 as stated in the letter, items 1 through 10.
Second? Is there a second?
Second.
Second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Okay, the site plan itself, still, everything's taken care of on this, and Emily, as far as stormwater goes? They're just minor things?
I believe stormwater is mostly taken care of on this, except for the Conservation District's comments again.
Sure.
I don't see any outstanding comments that we had for this. I think the only outstanding comment we had was possibly about some geotechnical confirmation on the little bit of grading on the above multipurpose field. Is that correct?
I think that had to do related to the installation of the walls, and the structural engineer was given the geotechnical report and the site plan, so the walls were designed accordingly already.
Did we get that information yet? Like, no? Okay.
But we can forward that.
Okay.
Okay, so we recommend approval subject to the County Conservation District approval, right? Chair will entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion that we recommend for approval SP-3-26 with the condition of, what is it, the Westmoreland Conservation District approval.
Yes. Is there a second?
Second.
Second, thirded, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Okay. You know, just a comment, I read through some of those letters from the Conservation District, which was like last week or something.
I think most of those comments are coming from DEP, because they're doing the peer review of any project in this municipality right now.
God help us if that's who's going to be doing our reviews.
Makes sense.
I'll refrain from comment.
Okay. Thank you. All right, we do have something to go back to. This is the changes to the ordinance. What do you guys want to do with this?
You recommended several changes. Change them and you
Yeah.
can either approve it with the changes or table it and wait till they're done, whatever you think.
Well, I would prefer that everybody weigh in on this. You know, Ed seems to have some knowledge on this if he read over those sections and
Table then.
table it, and the public hearing can still go forth with the council, correct?
I
Yes.
think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, actually, yeah, you continued this hearing.
Yeah.
And the county is going to need to review this before it can go to a public hearing before council. They need at least 30 days to review it. Probably won't
Okay.
take them that long, but they'll need a complete one, though, because if we make any substantive changes, well, I can't say that word, it has to go back to them for a second review, so.
Okay, so we're going to table this for tonight,
Yeah,
and then it's going to go on to council. The whole idea here was, we wanted to get it before council have a public hearing, so then it has pending ordinance status. So if somebody does come in with one, say, well, wait a minute, we've got an ordinance here, even though it hasn't been officially passed.
One thing, Mike, I think I asked you at the last meeting if there was being defined how to handle these solar panels with stormwater management.
Stormwater, yeah.
Weigh in on this. This is always a source of confusion for engineers, so.
It is, it's tough. I looked into it. There is language that defines each panel as impervious, so that has to be calculated as part of the overall lot coverage. In terms of the actual design, I read a lot of crazy stuff, and I don't know how we could incorporate that other than just referring back to our stormwater ordinance. I'm open to any suggestions, though.
I would recommend, what I would recommend is coming up with like, I don't know, some sort of a percentage, basis where they're not, where they get some credit because there's ground underneath of them.
Yeah.
And the rain's running underneath of them, but we're also dinging them a little bit because it's concentrating it a little bit.
Yes. That's
That way
basically
it's-
what it pointed to, is that even though the rain is getting to the soil, it's still concentrating off
Yeah.
of each of the panels. And
But I think if you would define it clearly with some sort of a percentage or whatever initially, it'll save you guys a lot of headache down the road.
Okay.
From having that discussion.
So just to go back to what I brought up with the dimensional standards, the buffer yards, that stuff, is anyone open to the more restricted
We
ones,
already
or
have dimensional standards
just leave them as they are?
for a B district.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't they just be the same?
That's completely fine. That's why it was in here, highlighted and questioned. So I can change all of that for you guys and then look into that stormwater stuff.
Okay. Okay.
Real quick, the table on page 3, you add the word large after solar energy facility.
Yes. Thank you.
Just so it's clear.
Okay, well, you guys all take some time and read this and get any comments you have to Mike and Emily, so we get a better, the staff gets a better idea what needs to be changed.
Just a comment too, the EAC did see this last time, at our last meeting 2 weeks ago, but that was their first time seeing it, so they did have some comments that they wanted to put together for the landscaping and things like that, so those should hopefully be within the next 2 weeks.
We already have landscaping standards for B districts and aesthetics on buildings, right?
Well, we do, but I think some of the concern was with both, not just the data center and the solar. It was the solar in the R1 district,
Yeah.
being a conditional use, and the buffers and plantings required for that, so.
I was just thinking of that. I can't think of the name of the road. It's a plan off of Logan's Ferry if you're coming from, if you're going towards
Plumb line?
Yeah, yeah, but it's past Plumb Line, you make a right, but in the
in Oak Ridge, yeah.
Oak Ridge, in the bottom of the hill,
Oh, at the
they have that huge solar panel field, and there's absolutely no buffering at all. I mean, I'm sure those people were not happy that went in there. I don't know how long ago that went in there, but,
So that's been probably at least 5 years, I
Yeah.
think, since it went in, yeah.
That in Murraysville?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, let me put it this way, this will make it easier. If you're coming up the hill from 286 by Shop and Save,
Yeah.
Yeah.
go all the way to the top of the hill at the stop
Make a
sign, and you go straight through.
Oh,
Yeah.
straight, yes.
Yeah.
Hey, when you get to the top of the hill, you can't go straight. You gotta go.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, you can.
That's a four-way
Clover
there.
Ridges.
Yeah.
From Shop and Save.
Cloverleaf is on the left.
Yeah, Cloverleaf, when you go across that,
Terry.
Cloverleaf is there, that trailer park.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, just drive around, we'll see. Can't miss it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Very good.
Make a motion to close.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, aye, aye.
Captain.
Okay.